Vin Diesel's first movie franchise is making a comeback after 11 years, and it's just what he needs right now. Yep, Furya and Friday is here. Vin Diesel has confirmed that filming for Riddick 4 is almost here, and there's even a new set video to prove it. So let's dive into everything we know about the upcoming movie. Vin Diesel's first franchise, The Chronicles of Riddick, is making a return after an 11-year hiatus with Riddick Furia, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. With only 3 films so far, this franchise is Diesel's longest-running one. As the Fast and Furious series winds down, Riddick is stepping in to showcase Diesel's action chops and dive deeper into the lore of his iconic anti-hero, Richard Riddick. The Chronicles of Riddick kicked off in 2000 with Pitch Black, a sci-fi thriller where a group of survivors crash land on a perilous planet facing a total solar eclipse. Among them is Richard Riddick, a convict with surgically enhanced eyes that let him see in the dark. This unique ability makes him a crucial asset for the group. The follow-up films expand Riddick's adventures across the galaxy, delving into interstellar conflicts and uncovering more about his own people, the Furians. Vin Diesel just dropped a new behind-the-scenes video from the set of Riddick Furia, giving fans a glimpse into the highly anticipated sequel. Diesel, who first took on the role of Riddick in 2000, has played the character in 2 sequels, The Chronicles of Riddick and Riddick. Now, he's reuniting with director David Twohy for Riddick Furia, which will see Riddick returning to his home planet, Furya. In the video, which Diesel captioned Furya and Friday, he's seen on The Volume, a virtual production technology made famous by The Mandalorian. Filming for Riddick Furia is set to kick off on August 26. Diesel also posted an update saying he's in Europe for a pre-production meeting, expressing gratitude for the fan support. The big question now is how Riddick Furia will stack up against its predecessors. The Chronicles of Riddick films have never been critical hits, but they've garnered a dedicated fan base over the years. Riddick received mixed reviews and was a modest box office success, grossing $98.3 million worldwide on a $38 million budget. With Twohy back at the helm, Riddick Furia is expected to be similar in style and tone to previous installments, which could mean it might not fare much better with critics. However, after more than a decade since the last film, there's a chance the new sequel could reconnect with fans and continue Riddick's story in a meaningful way. The sequel will explore Riddick's home planet more deeply than previous films, introducing a new enemy and presenting a fresh challenge for the character. This shift in setting and stakes could offer an interesting new direction for the franchise. With production starting soon, fans can look forward to more behind-the-scenes glimpses from Diesel in the near future. The Wrap has confirmed that filming for Riddick Furia is set to kick off in August. This new installment will be shot across Germany, Spain, and the UK. While specific plot details are still under wraps, we do have a sneak peek at the film synopsis. In Riddick Furia, the titular anti-hero makes his long-awaited return to his homeworld. There, he discovers a harsh reality. Fellow Furians are fighting for survival against a new and terrifying adversary. To his surprise, some of these Furians share more in common with him than he ever anticipated. So, what does this mean for Riddick Furia's release date? With filming set to begin and the synopsis finally revealed, things are looking promising for the long-awaited 4th installment. The journey towards making this sequel started back in 2013 when Vin Diesel first expressed interest in continuing the Riddick saga. By 2015, Diesel confirmed that the franchise would continue, but progress has been slow over the years, with updates trickling in, including a 2019 notice that the script was ready. As of now, there's no official release date for Riddick Furia. Several factors will play into determining when we can expect the film to hit theaters. First, the efficiency of the production process will impact the timeline. Given that Riddick had a $38 million budget and the fact that Furya has been in the works for over a decade, it's likely that the budget for this sequel will be substantial as well. Additionally, Vin Diesel's schedule will be a major factor. Diesel is involved in several projects, including the high-profile Fast X Part 2. However, Diesel has a history of prioritizing the Riddick franchise, as seen when he made a cameo in The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift to secure the rights to Riddick. This suggests that he is deeply committed to the franchise and will likely make it a priority in his schedule once again. With that in mind, let's shift our focus to some of the unresolved plot points from the last film, Riddick. One of the most intriguing aspects of the movie was the dynamic between Riddick and the mercenary Colonel Boss Johns. Unlike Santana's crew, who were solely interested in killing Riddick for the bounty, Johns had a more complex agenda. He was intent on keeping Riddick alive, but not just for the reward. He was searching for information about his son, William J. Johns, who was introduced in Pitch Black. Johns was willing to risk everything, even his own life, to get this information from Riddick. However, the film left some key details unexplained, particularly how the elder Johns came to know about Riddick. It was established that Johns was aware of the Hunter Gratzner, the ship from Pitch Black, and knew it had crashed. But he was in the dark about the fate of his son and the other passengers. It's clear that Johns knew Riddick was on the ship due to Riddick's notorious criminal reputation, making a shipwreck involving such a dangerous fugitive noteworthy news. Given John's obsession with finding Riddick, it's plausible that he conducted extensive research about the crash and its survivors that wasn't shown on screen. This could explain how he managed to track down Riddick and was so determined to extract information, but the specifics of how he connected all these dots remain a mystery. One of the more confusing aspects of Riddick was its handling of time. The opening narration gave us an idea of how many years had passed since the events of the Chronicles of Riddick, but the film itself had noticeable jumps in its timeline. For instance, at the start, Riddick is seen with a broken leg, which he sets between two rocks in a gruesome scene. Normally, a break of that severity would take weeks or even months to heal, but Riddick's Furian physiology likely allowed him to recover much more quickly. Despite this, Riddick raises a jackal-like creature from a pup, which could suggest a passage of at least a year or two if the creature had a lifespan similar to an Earth mammal. Another timeline jump occurs after Riddick activates the beacon to signal for help. The film makes it appear as though the bounty hunters arrive almost immediately, but realistically, some time must have passed. Overall, it seems that the events of Riddick cover a span of at least a year, though the exact duration is left somewhat ambiguous. The ending of Riddick isn't particularly complex in terms of themes, but it does offer some insight into the character's development. While earlier films in the series touched on concepts like faith, Imam's beliefs in Pitch Black, and the necromonger's dogma in the Chronicles of Riddick, the third installment doesn't delve deeply into these themes. Instead, Riddick wraps up with a focus on personal growth and continuation. In this film, we see a less violent side of Riddick. His intense aggression is subdued, and his quest for a ship symbolizes a deeper longing, his desire to return to his homeworld. This shift highlights a significant change in Riddick's character. What he truly wants isn't just to escape or fight, but to find a place where he belongs. The ending underscores his journey from a relentless anti-hero to someone seeking a sense of home and belonging. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.